this whole town, oh, can't you see? Folks whisper when you trot on by, like, who's that fluffy superstar? Right, let's give 'em something to bark about, a little wolf to howl about. Let's give 'em something to bark about. Wolf in love, wolf in love. Jumping puddles in the yard, chewing shoes like it ain't hard, chasing after every squirrel inside. You got style, you got flair, first flying everywhere. You turn every ordinary day into highlight. Neighbors peeking through the blinds like, there goes that dog again. Let's give 'em something to bark about, a tail wag stroll around the block.
Hey, y'all. I'm about to figure out these buttons, I think. Welcome, welcome. I see Ninja's here, and it says I hit the 600 subscribers. Cool, cool. Hey, Maria, welcome. Hey, Arnold, welcome. Well, I must have done something better today because I actually am getting to see some people. Angela, welcome. Angel, welcome. Appreciate y'all joining me today. Let's give them something to bark about. I'm telling you, I'm tired of all the hard and bad news in the world. I'd like to be a dog for a while. You know, if that's all I had to do all day long, I'd trade that in about 2 seconds. But I hope everybody's doing good this Wednesday. It is hard to believe May is trying to fly by us. Uh, I'll see year 63 coming up June 6th, and that just don't even seem possible, especially when I'm barely 40, you know. I don't know how people do the math. I guess I never was really good at math, so that's how I can take 40 years off my age, or at least 40 years off my age. So how's everybody doing? What's new? I missed out on most of the YouTube buddies the last few days, so I don't know what's going on or anything new or anybody in jail yet or any of that stuff. I I had a fun time at the Marshall Kennel Club dog shows in Marshall, Texas. Um, it was the Dallas Chihuahua Club specialty, and we showed it was the Kennel Club and the specialty on Friday, 2 shows on Saturday, and one on Sunday. And little believe she didn't like no one. She didn't want any of it. I mean, that for one, it was a dirt floor arena, and they had plowed it, and instead of making it smooth and a solid surface, it was just full of plow marks like crevices, and oh, my feet just about killed me. And Friday I was like, if I could cry and make it better, I'd have been bawling my eyes out, but I knew that wouldn't do no good. But I mean, the chihuahuas looked like they were going up and down little mountains, think of a crevice that deep. Well, that's nearly their length of their leg. But anyway, it was fun seeing people. And uh, Ninja, you still cruising? Girl, how long does that cruise? Or you're muta? I have to watch how I say some things. I have my country speech that it didn't come out like I really meant it to. But I hope you're having a wonderful time and just relaxing and doing just what you want to do. Um, but anyway, the show was great. And it was funny. I don't know if any of y'all caught the lives, but I went live a couple of times, and Chucky Chihuahua got in my chat and was talking about I need to do something on X, and I guess getting it out there to more people. but that I was trending something on Friday or Saturday. I don't remember which time it was, but I was like, I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool. So, I'll take it just because I don't know that Chucky has ever been in my chat. I've seen him in other channels chats before, but I was kind of like my feet didn't hurt quite as bad when he put that in the post. So like I said, I don't know what it was doing, but I sure appreciate y'all, and I appreciate the people that have already become friends just in the few months of doing this. And as Ninja said, I've hit the 600 mark, so Lord willing, we'll get to 1,000 or 1,500, and this thing will start at least paying a little bit to go toward the bills. It would sure be nice. Um, and I had sad news this weekend. Most of y'all heard me talk about my donkey, like up on the wall there, Eloise. She was 23 years old. And Saturday, just I kept feeling like I need to come home. Y'all know when you get that sense or feeling. Well, I told my buddies, I was like, look, I'm going home. And I got home probably about 7:30 Saturday evening. And Darla comes in and she says, I got bad news. Of course, your heart always goes in your throat when somebody's serious and says something like that. And she said, Eloise died on Friday. And that was my miniature donkey that I had got the day after my mom's funeral, and brought her back in a Jeep Liberty in the behind the seat. And she did not poop in my Jeep. She did pass gas. It made us roll the windows down once or twice, but just the bestest girl. And loved people. I can't tell you in the last 23 years how many uh, kids, and every time I look out, there'd be people that were playing Eloise a visit. So it was hard news, but I know she lived a great life, and it's just I'm gonna miss that talking to me, because every time I walked out the door, if she was hungry, she really told you about it. But most of the time it was, hey mom, that kind of brain. Y'all have seen some of my videos when the chihuahuas all go running out, Eloise would holler for me. And that's gonna be the hardest thing to I walked out this morning and it just hit me. She's not here to holler at me no more, but I know she's in heaven, and hopefully I get to see her again one of these days. I sure got a lot of people and pets up there that I can't wait to see. And the other news, and some of y'all saw, I posted some, but since I broke my rib, my doctor saw something on the X-ray and sent me for a CAT scan, and then they sent me for a PET scan, and because they saw something on my right lung. And excuse me, I had the PET scan last Wednesday. Yeah, last Wednesday, May 6th, I believe it was. Um, and I was leaving for the dog show on Thursday, and I was supposed to go back this past Monday for the results. And I talked to the little guy that was so nice doing the test, and I said, man, do I have to wait till Monday to get some results? He's like, no, I'll get you on the portal, and when the reports goes in the portal, you can look at it. So, you know, Wednesday, it's amazing what your brain does. When you hear that C word, you just don't know what to say or do sometimes. And I read the report Thursday morning. I was planning on leaving by 10 or 10:30, but it was actually about let's see, I was on the road about 12 or 12:30 Thursday, but that kind of set me back for a couple hours just reading it and thinking about it. And Monday I did a live on the way back from El Dorado, but I don't know how well that went. I hadn't even had time to look and see if it came through, because it's an awful rural area driving through between here and El Dorado. So I know it kept rebuffing or whatever you call that when you lose service. But anyway, I'm going to keep a good attitude. Um, the thing about it is, if I had not broke my rib, then none of this would have been happening. It could have been 10 years from now and get really bad news. But they're planning a biopsy, and uh, basically they said if it's non-small or non-cell, I don't, I'll get all this wrong. Small cell, that's what I'm getting. Small cell, then they will do surgery and chemo. If it's non-small cell, they will do surgery, but probably won't have to have chemo. And guys, y'all know I love animals and pets, and especially dogs. But walking in that Carti place in El Dorado, it just humbles you. I mean, the building was the former Office Depot, and then Carti bought it and they turned it into a cancer center in South Arkansas instead of having to drive 100+ miles to Little Rock to get the same kind of service. So it's a huge blessing for the community. But man, you talk about humble your spirit. That place was so packed. It was hardly, you could barely get a parking place. And that just hit me, I know there's lots of friends and people I know and customers that have been through bouts with cancer and stuff. But, it just, till you see it like that. And there's a lady, I'm going to give her some, I don't think she would mind me sharing, but she was there, and we've been on the praise team together. I played guitar on our praise team for 18 years, and I kind of retired this past year because I wanted these younger folks to get up there and play guitar and stuff. And but Miss Patsy, she has continued to sing every Sunday and every service. And I had saw her about a few months back, and her head was just bald. I mean, it was shiny, like guys' hair or bald men with no hair. And she was up there singing and praising God. And then the next time I saw her, her hair was coming back just gray. And I hadn't told her this, but I kind of thought chia pet, it's just a gray headed chia pet. But I saw her in El Dorado Monday, and now her hair is longer and it's purple. So, I'm getting ideas. I don't know what, especially, I mean, my hair is short anyway. So if I start losing it, y'all may see some wild stuff on my head before it's over with. But she got up, and the one thing is she went through the radiation and chemo, and she was saying, don't do the radiation, that it ruined her vocal cords and like it had burned her inside out. But she was she went through all these treatments, and they told her there was nothing more that they could do, that the treatments wasn't working. And so I don't know how long a period, a few months before she went back, and they did another scan or something, and she had no cancer, none. So that right there, seeing her walk through this, man, that just made me stronger. And bless her heart, she had fell and broke her back in two places. And I had noticed Sunday that her shoulders were broader than normal. And when I hugged her on Monday, I could feel the brace. And that's from her fall and breaking. And I'm sure the radiation, that's all poison. They're trying to kill the poison. And I've dealt with dogs a lot of times over the years that developed some type of cancer. And I bet you, in fact, a vet friend was reading my report, and she was saying, well, on dogs, this would be this. And I said, well, Lord, I'm part dog. What are you talking about on dogs? Need a little dude. But hey, Paul, thank you so much. Paul Voss is the one who done my Something to Bark About song, and I absolutely love it. And then when I got home Monday, I wasn't even on YouTube. I was doing something on my phone, and I guess the notification came up for Paul's new song, or I don't know if it's new, but it just popped up. And I touched it, and all of a sudden, his song came on, and it touched my soul to the core. And Paul, if you'd please put the name of the song in there. I was trying the last couple of hours to figure out, y'all know it took me 2 months after he did my theme song to get it working. And so I had permission from Paul to play this new song, but dummy me, boomer me, whatever you want to call me, I couldn't make it. I didn't get it from a file I could watch to uh, play it for you guys because it is a beautiful song and just, you do a great job. That's right, Ninja. He does a great job. But you know what? I believe in things happen for a reason. And I think this is for a reason. I didn't know who Happy was, and Puppy, and Maria, and Paul, and Arnold, and who, if I'm missing anybody, I don't mean to be. I didn't know you guys. This started December 3rd, and to be up to 600 subscribers, I'm just tickled pink. And anytime, and I've told y'all that I'm planning June to start interviewing some of my pet people that I've met around. In fact, I was with a judge this weekend. He's an AKC judge, and he has a podcast that they do and cover dog issues and dog shows and that kind of stuff. And he was actually at this show. Him and his wife were showing this weekend, so they were getting to play with their dogs instead of him out there judging. But like I said, you guys have been so nice and encouraging, and sometimes I wish like somebody like Paul that can do all that music and figure out stuff, that he could come here and go point here and point there and do that and click that. The devil knew my name once. That's it. That's it. I don't know. Can y'all put a link in my chat, or do I have to do that? Because I don't have a clue how to do that. But if somebody tells me what to do, I'd love for y'all to go check that out. Because, like I said, it was a pure accident, or well, it really wasn't an accident. It was a meant to be moment. And I listened to every word of that song and took it in my soul. And I know that I got too much more of this to go. Y'all see who's conked out right here? Little Believe. She hated showing this weekend. I mean, I kept thinking, well, she'll do better the second show, and so I'd get her outside the ring, and her and Cotton. Now, Cotton showed great, but there was some top show dogs there in Dallas, being the Dallas Specialty Club. But I'd walk her with Cotton, and she'd be all happy and tail wagging and watching where we were going. The minute I took her in the ring, she put them little ears down, tucked that tail, and it was like, I don't like it. I don't want to do it. Just like a kid when they don't want to do something. But and of course, my dogs, if they're having fun, I'm having fun. But if it's a puppy like that saying, I don't like this, stop, I'm going to stop, and I'm not giving up showing her because she's a baby. She's 7 months old. But I had a Chihuahua. No, where are you going? Don't get on the edge. You were the first one wanting up here. And I have to tell y'all now, I have to say Live. They have learned, and it ain't going to take too many more times me spelling it. They have learned when I say that to come get in their spot. And I bet you money in another few days or few more programs that when I spell that, they'll figure it out. But anyway, we did have a great time, and I got to see my Chihuahua buddies and go out and eat, and I got the three ladies that were with me, good close friends. Hey, Just Jack, welcome. Welcome. It Tug calls me a palate cleanser, and I appreciate that. And uh, Chucky said something about that Saturday. Like I said, where I was, I couldn't see the chat really good. Every now and then, I'd see a comment, and it was so funny because there was huge fans blowing in this thing. High up, big oak fan, long blades, and the ground was making what said was, if you're old enough to know what a black and white TV used to do, it'd get all them little lines going across when it didn't have reception, good reception. Well, that's what my phone started doing. And I was freaking out thinking, oh my gosh, my phone's, you know, I'm it's dying and it's a brand new phone. And then Chucky said, well, look up. And it's in the video, I showed that big old fan, and it was a reflection of that fan going around, and it made it look like lines on my phone. And I'm like, you dummy. But I appreciated him pointing it out, so I didn't think my phone was dying. Maria asked, who's the artist? I think Paul does, that's his songs through AI now. I'm just saying that's what I think. I don't know. He would have to, I don't know how he does his music, but it is amazing. And go to his channel and start listening to some of the, I mean, he's got several genres. How you say that? I ain't going there again. I ain't going there again. But mix of types of music. There we go. That y'all might enjoy, because I believe that was a good Lord making me hit that notification the other day, and I needed that. And I got good news. I've told you two bads. Well, now I'm going to tell you good. I think No No's Bread, and it'll be a June 20th event. And it's funny because her last litter was about 2 years ago. I was at the Dallas shows when she went into labor a few days early. And my partner does not, she loves dogs, but that's that part of it. She's like, that's me and not Betty. Paul says he wrote it. I got to get this mouse to working. There we go. Let me show this. There we go. I forget them. I can show these on the screen so everybody can see what I'm talking about. But anyway, Darla called me, and I was with these same friends at supper, and she said, No's acting funny. And she turned the phone around, and I'm like, that ain't funny. That's in labor. And I was like 4 hours away, and Darla delivered the first two puppies by herself. Well, another friend was here helping a little bit, but not, like she said she's supposed to hold her and no bitter, I mean, it's labor. It ain't fun. But Darla vetoed the idea of me going anywhere around her due date, and I promised I wouldn't. So I think I figured out it'd be June 20th, and she's just looking a little pudgy. It's still too early to tell, but I would love to have babies on here to share with y'all. Pam had her three babies. They just turned 3 weeks old, and the mama with her this weekend, and it just gets that puppy fever in you to seeing that little. In fact, a good friend, Derek, and if you're listening, Derek, I'm calling you out or shouting you out. He's the goofball that hangs around 4 ladies, and we've just become a family when we see each other at shows. And he wins something with somebody else's dog and comes out acting like he's won an Academy Award. And of course, I videoed that, but I hadn't shared it yet. But when he come to the room to see the babies, he'd never seen a puppy like that. A Chihuahua puppy especially, but one that age, and it was just so cool to watch his face looking at that little puppy. She's got two girl, excuse me, two girls and a fat little boy, and they're all little blimps. But Derek had got his baby when she was already like 6 or 7 months old, so he'd never seen a baby like that. So that will be something exciting. Anybody got tell me something I missed in the last few days? I caught Roz something about somebody being arrested. Is that true, or I didn't stay on there but a minute, and I was like, oh no, please don't be live, Roz, because I can't compete with some of these other creators. They're, y'all, especially me. We all want to go see what they're doing and saying. But I appreciate you coming over from Tug, Just Jack. We're trying hard to get this channel just talking dogs every time, and it was funny. Well, not funny for her, but I had another doctor's appointment yesterday, and the little girl, it's at my local clinic, and the little girl that come in was new, and of course we started talking about dogs, and she told me that she had picked up a German Shepherd, a stray that was real thin, and she couldn't stand, she wanted to help the dog. So anyway, she picked this dog up and took it straight to a vet, and not in Camden, but oh, okay. Thanks, Ninja. Let me put that up. Arnold said he hadn't heard anything, and Ninja says this: the arrest warrant seems bogus according to Roz. Okay, I just heard something about somebody arrested or something, didn't stay there long. Um, but anyway, this little girl's telling me she took the dog straight to the vet, and the vet, she got shots and everything, and she was going to set it up for get her spayed. And the vet said, "Welcome, Denise. Welcome. Appreciate you coming in." Um, but the vet told her the dog was already spayed. Well, it's very hard to see a scar the way vets do a spay neuter now, because they glue the incision. And I know on my dogs that are spayed, if I was trying to find the incision on them, I probably couldn't. And then some vets use like a dot of tattoo ink or something, and that shows they have been spayed, so you can tell. Well, let's see. Ninja says it's for Terrence Greaves, aka DJ Radis. Ah, is he back in the United States? I thought he was in Australia at home. Huh. Like I said, I hadn't been getting to keep up with all of this. But the whole point of the story about the girl at the clinic yesterday, hey, look around, welcome. This dog that she was told was spayed had 13, not five, not six, 13 babies. And they are 3 weeks old today. And of course, all 13 survived. And I mean, this is a young girl, probably in her early 20s. It reminded me of myself at that age, where if I saw a dog in need, and I still do that at 62, but really did it back in the day. And anyway, so I gave her my cell number, and I said, another couple of weeks, start sending me pictures, and hopefully we can find homes, because there's one home for every 50 dogs. For every 50 dogs needing a home, there's one in South Arkansas. And that's a sucky stat, but that's true. So, but she was pretty upset with that vet, and I'm not saying any names or towns, because okay, Ninja said he claimed he was returning in May. If he returned, I have no idea. Yeah, I hadn't either. It's just, some of that stuff is so crazy and unbelievable and sad. really sad. I watched some of the Rumble videos uh, on my way to Dallas, and had my iPad, and I'll be going, they didn't just say that or do that. And I was like, man, that it was some awakening body cams to what goes on in the villages. And, you know, life's too short to not be happy and fighting with everybody. And, I don't get any of that. I mean, I'm all about love and surrounded by it all day. It was so funny. My daycare dogs yesterday, uh, I didn't have daycare on the 6th because I was going for the pet scan. I left on Thursday the 7th, and then I didn't have daycare this past Monday because I was going to the doctor to get results. Well, I I had 26 daycare babies yesterday. And to tell y'all excited, I've ordered me a camera holder thing that's supposed to track view or whatever. And when I get it, my plan is to put it out in my big room so y'all can watch these dogs coming in the mornings or going home in the evenings. It's just hilarious. I mean, but yesterday was extra because they had met, it's like they hadn't been here in months, and they just love to go find their friends. And I got two new babies. I got a little Chihuahua named Charlie that started this like his third or fourth time, and he actually spent the night for the first time last night. And then a little Shih Tzu puppy that Chico, and this is like his third or fourth time to daycare. So it's nice to have some little dogs that, I don't like putting the big dogs. Now, some of the doodles, they could care less. You could put them, I have a beagle like that. Uh, it doesn't matter who she's with. Let's see. Ninja said the war at the states he followed the LNNOP around the Chiefland Walmart, yelling things at her and taking pictures of her in the parking lot. Oh, Lord. You know, I mean, if you're out in public, when I used to do animal cruelty cases, there was it's been about 25 years ago, plain view. If something was in plain view, like, if I could see it from the road or the sidewalk, that was plain view, and I could do something about it. Now, I probably fudged that a few times by going in, like I'll never forget, a lady called me and it was kids, like 7 or 8 year old kids. And it's been proven that if a kid's hurting a dog, they're more than likely being abused, whatever that word is, themselves. I'm trying to learn to watch what words I use. But I couldn't see them from the road, but I went in the lady's house and I could see perfectly what they were doing to this dog. And, get worried about plain view anymore. They went out the window. I was going to help that dog and find out who was in charge of those two little kids, that absolutely something was going on. And I know, I'm pretty sure child services got involved. But hey, Logan, welcome. Well, thank you. Gotta love me 23's here, and that's Logan. You've been here a couple times. Well, y'all just don't know how good y'all make me feel. Spending your time coming in here, telling people about it. I'm gonna try to make it more interesting than me just sitting here talking to you. But I do have a lot of dog stories in the last 40 years, and really daily. I mean, uh, I never know what I'm going to get in the day, but it's all good and all love. And that love and woof, that just gets me every time, or woof and love on the song Paul did for me. I just love it. And I'm going to figure out how to play his song. Hey, I want y'all to go to his channel and check that out too. but I'm gonna figure out how to play it on my channel. Like I finally got my song going. Let's see. Uh, Come on, show. Gotta love me. My mommy said I can chat. She is with me too. Well, that's awesome. What kind of dog you got? I don't remember. Do you have a dog or cat or any animal? I mean, I guess I'm down to my one goat, pygmy goat, and that's the last of my livestock. And I won't be getting any more. Um, it's when I go to dog shows or something, I gotta get Darla feeding them and that kind of stuff. So it's not fair to get another one. Um, I'm also praying for you in my prayers to help you get well. With thank you. And that's the one thing you never want to hear, that C word, but I have the best support system. It's just unreal. At first I was like, well, they want to do stuff so quick, and I was having to slow the doctor down because he was talking, dude, come get the PET scan. You be careful. Lay down. Goodness can't control her honey butt, so she makes me a little nervous if she's moving around. All right, wait. One at a time. If y'all have had your cotton. Cotton fell out of my lap. Mama check on you just a sec. Let's set these steps. Come here, Cotton. You think she bumped her leg. Are you okay? Mama didn't mean for you to fall. I just moved my lap and you fell. Oh, but anyway, oh yeah. Gotta love me as a Shih Tzu to Golden Doodle. Wow. Now, I hadn't seen that combination. I wish we could do photos on here. It would be so cool to be able to share our dog pictures. Maybe YouTube will learn to do that. And I know everybody's going to Rumble, so I've been wondering if I needed to figure that out, but I ain't got this figured out real well, so I'm not wanting to add too much because it's a challenge sometimes. But I'm going to get off of here, and uh, I'll have the daycare dogs going here home here shortly. Is love to love to hug those puppies. Love, not live. Okay, I got you. I know what you were saying. Yeah, that they always say dogs and animals make you live longer. So according to how many chihuahuas I got, I'll be around. I got plenty of dogs to take care of, and I'm just believing this is a little blip in my journey, and hopefully it will all be a easy task. That's what I was saying with the doctor. They wanted to go straight into a biopsy after the PET scan. And I'm like, whoa, wait. I got a pet business. I can't just up and leave. I need to, if people wanting me to keep their dogs while they go on vacation and that kind of stuff. So that's why I slowed it down to go back and get the results. And then I'm slowing it down even more to after. Oh, Ninja said not a bad idea to get on Rumble. Okay, I'll check that out this weekend and see. And gotta love me says kisses and hugs to you. Thank you so much. But anyway, I've told my customers, and they've all been just overwhelming, hugging my neck or telling they love me and praying, and that means the world to me, and that's what'll help me get through all this. Good or bad, I know where I'm headed. So, and I'm ready to go if it's my time. But I just believe there's a lot more dogs for me to care for, and even a lot more tricks for me to learn. But anyway, I love you guys. Please like and share, and let's get on up to that 1,000 and see what happens from there. Y'all have a great rest of your day. Love you. Have a good one.